We have some news.
What's going on?
Robert Saleh has been fired as the head coach of the New York Jets.
Shut up.
According to Adam Schefter, or I'm not sure who broke it first, but I'm seeing everyone talking about that right now. So we should probably discuss this right
great
now.
debate. Who should be the new New York Jets head coach?
What?
Have they named an interim coach?
So this, not that, I mean, it literally just happened.
Aaron Rodgers, new head coach?
He's a general manager too.
That's what this has to be, right? You don't fire Robert Saleh at this point in time unless Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers a few weeks ago when Rodgers on the sideline had that moment with Saleh.
2 possession lead.
Yeah, where he like pushed him away.
2 possession lead.
Oh,
but look, Robert Saleh hasn't done a great job with the Jets.
I'm not going to debate that.
But Nathaniel Hackett hasn't done a great job with the offense. So who's going to be the head? Is Nathaniel Hackett going to be the head coach because Aaron Rodgers is his buddy? That's a problem. That's a big problem. I joked around all offseason about Aaron Rodgers being president, general manager, coach, quarterback, offensive coordinator, all of it. And when you give a guy that much power, you're asking for it. I think he's arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but he should not have the decision-making power in that building at all. It's a major mistake by the organization.
Checks and balances are so big in the NFL, and not many of us would argue that Bill Belichick is one of the greatest coaches of all time. But when you get complete autonomy and you get complete decision-making, almost like dictatorial, rule over a team, over a franchise, you can see that checks and balances are super important. So that's the next question. Who's going to be there to hold everybody accountable?
Well, I mean, we saw it, I think, most famously with LeBron over his time in Cleveland, right? Where it's just like, I want my guy, and it just never worked, right? It's just when a player is given power over a roster or over decision-making the way Aaron Rodgers has. And I don't think, they're not ever going to come out and say it, but you don't sign Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, like literally all his buddies year one, if he's not in there making those decisions. So, and this doesn't happen.
See, in basketball, it worked with Magic when he got rid of Paul Westhead. And remember, he went to the Lakers. Paul Westhead was the coach of the Lakers, and he got rid of him, and they made Pat Riley the coach. So they brought in Showtime.
Pat Riley
because Paul Westhead had this system he didn't want to run like Magic wanted to run, so he got rid of him. And so then they put in, ironically, because Paul Westhead became a guy that ran all over the place when he became a college coach. But that's what happened. So it worked in the NBA because you got you need 2 players in the NBA. You could be a star. You could be a good team. In the NFL, it doesn't work. Bill Belichick was fired as the head coach because Bill Belichick, general manager, stunk. Yep. Bottom line.
Yep.
It's
too much power.
You're too close. You're too close to all these.
Player having a power is ridiculous.
Exactly. So this one, man, I just don't see how this benefits the Jets. One of our debate topics is going to be, do the Jets make the playoffs? And I honestly feel I wanted to say yes before this, but this gives me pause. This gives me pause about turning around. Aaron Rodgers said, we're going to go on a run at some point. I don't think they're going on a run at some point at this rate. If you're firing your head coach.
Yeah, we were just talking about how banged up Aaron has been looking, and, things are not looking bueno right now. Now you get the head coach out of the building.
Because Saleh, for as much as maybe him and Aaron Rodgers don't get along, there's got to be guys on that defense side of the ball that love him. Their defense has played exceptional over his career, and even this year, they have one of the best pass defenses of all time to start through 5 weeks. So it's like they're doing things well on that side of the ball, which is his side of the ball. So there's got to be people in that. I can see this creating some sort of chasm in the locker room that maybe there wasn't one already. But
what's this also say? I said all along they were going to go get Devontae Adams because in the way they play offense, so stagnant, they need another weapon. They don't move. That's the Rodgers way. It's always been the Rodgers way. Going back to Green Bay, every receiver that's been there, he likes 2 over here and 1 over here, and we go. Well, that's okay. Back then it was okay because teams didn't use so much rotation after the snap. You got to have motion. You got to dictate tempo. He hates it. Yep. They don't do it. Hackett buys into it. And you need another weapon to play that way. So go get Devontae Adams. And if you go get Devontae Adams, why wouldn't you if you're Joe Douglas? If you don't win, you're out. You're following Saleh out the door too. Go make the move. You're giving away somebody else's draft picks.
I will say, if they follow this up and fire Nathaniel Hackett, if they do both, I'm back in. If they just put a new staff in place there, because I think the talent is there to do a lot more than they're doing right now. But at this rate, if Nathaniel Hackett's given more power, we're in trouble.
Jeff Ulbrich?
The defensive coordinator, Ulbrich, he's going to be the interim coach?
That's what they said?
No, I'm making a guess here. I'm looking at it. If it's not Hackett, it's going to be the DC. Is it the special teams coordinator, Brant Boyer?
If you know Brant, I've known Brant. Brant was a special teams guy in Jacksonville.
Do you see him being an interim
player
guy?
in Jacksonville? No. I love Brant. I think Brant could do it. I don't. Jeff Ulbrich is a very, you guys know Jeff. Jeff's an emotional former linebacker. He's a fight. I mean, if you want that, then that's okay. I think, look, here's the thing. Does Hackett design and call his offense the way he does because of Rodgers, or is that just what because Rodgers was running that offense long before Hackett was there.
There is a Rodgers offense, and it's not like it's difficult to watch at times. I've said this about how he's addicted to slant flat and those tight end screens and stuff of that nature that he just like feels comfortable with and wants to run. And he doesn't want motion, like a lot of things that he doesn't want to do, but like he needs someone to not be his buddy and be like, yeah, you're correct, Aaron, right? You know, he needs someone to be like, hey, we're going to do this because this works. And it also is going to complement who has actually, I mean, that's what LaFleur was doing. LaFleur
they had motion.
Compliments to what he would be able to do.
It wasn't full-fledged motion, but he had some.
Yes. And now you see what the Packers do now. I think they lead the NFL in pre-snap motion.
Right. And so why were they hesitant to do it? Because Rodgers didn't like it.
Jeff Ulbrich.
So
will be the interim head coach for the Jets, per sources, per Peter Schrager.
There you go. All right.
Now he's a fiery guy now. If you want some fire in the belly, you're going to get it from Jeff Ulbrich.
I love that. And maybe it matches some of the passion that Aaron Rodgers has for the game at 40 years old.
Well, you didn't also, did you think Robert Saleh had fire? I mean, when he was standing on the sideline, did you see that? No. I mean, but if Jeff Ulbrich is going to be the interim head coach, that means you're probably keeping your offensive coordinator.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Whew. Well, all I can say is, as a Packers fan, you should not be surprised, Jets. Like, this is what you signed up for. Unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers is one of one, and you just like he's a freaking massive personality that has to be managed. That will take his ball and go home if things don't go his way.
This is so crazy. It's so early for this,
but it is wild the timing. No one would have.
The only thing it can be, because you're at this stage of the season. If you thought about him, what you think. That you should have fired him before the season. The only thing this can be is Rodgers complaining about him because of what they did in London.
Yeah.